done them for 20 years.
Still going through this. Still going through it, Sam.
You're still going through it, so you're more alive than what I am then.
The change, the change.
Okay, ready to go? Okay, yeah, we're live. Right. Welcome to this meeting of the Community Environmental Committee, which has been held here at Newton Leeds Pavilion on Tuesday, August the 5th, 2025. Councillor Terry Stevens and I will chair this meeting. Before we start, there are some housekeeping points to note. We're not expecting any fire drills, but if the fire alarm sounds, please leave as quickly as possible. The fire exits are and the assembly points is in the car park at the front of the building. Toilets are in the foyer. Please return your mobile phones or put them to silent. We want everyone to be able to hear, so please respect whoever is speaking. Also, you should be aware that the meeting is being recorded and recording may be streamed on the social media channels. I will now ask members of the council and committee to introduce themselves. Start with Councillor Samantha Brown.
Hello, I'm Councillor Samantha Brown. I do the Lakes Estate area.
Councillor Ron Hine, Queensway and Stadium area.
Marie Wymer Lakes.
Terry Stevens, Manor North.
Ismail Hussain, Manor South.
Richard Graham, Vice Chairman of the Council and Central Bletchley.
Nathaniel Kelly Wilson, Chairman of the Council and Newton Mees, Town Councillor.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we've got no members, right. So we start agenda item number 1. Note councillors' apologies for absence.
Yes, we've had apologies from Councillor Fernandez and Councillor Scott.
Thank you. Item number 2, to note councillors' declarations of interest in any matters on the agenda. Silence is a no. Move on to item number 3, to approve the minutes of the last meeting of the committee held on the 3rd of June 2025. So they are pages 3 to 5 in your pack. Take silence as acceptance of the minutes.
Noted.
Thank you very much. Public speaking, item number 4.
We've got no tonight.
We'll move on swiftly to item number 5. Right, item number 5. So we are going to receive a report and recommendations following a meeting of the Town Council's grants panel concerning the following grant applications to be determined at the committee meeting. Following the introduction of the Town Council's revised grants policy, it was resolved at the meeting on 29th of July 2025 that these grants, which had been submitted until the old grant scheme, would be considered and scored using the new grant scheme criteria. So we've got number 1, we've got 4 of these. First being the, go through these, John?
Yeah, you can if you want to. I don't mind if you want to read them. Yeah.
So onto the page. So the first one was the community voice. So the first one was, so the panel was broadly sympathetic, which we were, of this application, and noted that it could meet grant scheme required outcomes. The panel required more information on how many people attended the choir, and of these, how many from Bletchley, Fenny, Stratford. The panel also had questions about the financial need for the grant at the current time. It was concluded that the grant would be evaluated under the current scheme. So this is a very common feedback from all the grants, so generally poor submissions. So second one was the MK Bangladeshi Association. Again, we're broadly sympathetic to this application and noted it would meet the grant scheme upon required outcomes. However, the maximum amount requested was above the new limit for small grants, which is 1.5k. The panel required more information, including financial information, which concluded that the grant could not be evaluated under the current scheme at this time. Next one was the youth mindset. The panel was supportive again of the goals of this organisation and noted the grant fell within the financial limit of the small grant scheme. However, there's more financial information that was needed. It was concluded that the grant could not be evaluated under the current scheme at this time. The last one was the mindfulness-inspired art click. The panel had concerns about the proposed budget for this project and hence the value for money. More financial information was needed. the amount requested was above the new grant maximum. It was concluded that the grant could not be evaluated in the current scheme at this time. So in terms of the meeting, you know, we've spent only 2.5% of the funding, which is I think £422 we've spent out
422, yeah.
of 17k. So even though we've not spent very much, the 4 submissions were very poorly constructed. Seem to think just submitting the form will be awarded the grant. So the new scoring system should be therefore followed. We will ask the applications using the system and feedback the expectations with the submissions as well. Give them a chance to say, this is what we expect. This is the prerequisites. So we've got 4. Sorry.
So regarding these applicants,
Yeah.
When they approach us as a council for their grants, isn't there a criteria that they get from us that should be filled out, financials, this, that, so that it can then come back to us for us to have a look at?
Yes.
Surely that should be the situation,
Yes.
and that's been the situation for years. So
I think the thing is now we've got the new scheme coming in place. So we've got new forms going on the website. We'll have a new section with criteria. I think the new questions we've got on the forms are a lot more, will get us the detail we want that we didn't have this time round, which we were all missing. So
yeah.
I think, yeah, that's going to be on there. The old form did have a criteria, but I think that we need a little more. People don't always give the detail we want anyway.
They follow up as well with the officers. Make sure they've got it in these.
They can have chats and, there'll be extra information.
It's concerning that there's 4 applicants and all 4 applicants need to go back and bring some financials.
Yeah.
I mean, this is our first rodeo as a council. We've been doing this for quite some time. And anybody that comes to our council for money should be bringing their financials, surely. That should be.
There is financial information.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is financial information
Yeah.
on there.
Okay.
So we've got
Ethan's got.
Sorry, I just wanted to say, obviously I sat on the grants panel and I actually, not all 4 of them were financial issues. I think 2 of them from memory did submit bank accounts, but the question actually was, if they have this level of income in their account, why do they need the grants? And so I don't think it's, I think your question was, is there something wrong with the process that we're not getting the information? Actually, every grant requester, it was a slightly different issue, but actually I think as a grants panel, we wanted to ensure that the new form was completed because we think that that's more robust.
I think questions around, who are they serving? Is it Bletchley, Fenny, Stratford residents? I don't think it was clear on a couple of the application forms as well, so it's extra info.
Okay.
So we'll be going out in the newsletter. We're going to have a dedicated digital newsletter as well to promote the scheme. So I'm hoping it's going to get out there, and the new website, web page will show.
I don't think we need to give too much because we don't want people just telling us what we want to hear. We don't want it to be a situation where, they're going to just tell us what they want us to hear and then that's it. You know what I mean? Because we can fall foul of that, where people just understand the criteria and just come along and go, blah, 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 blah. Okay, it sits on criteria, tick, 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 and they get the money. And so, again, we're going to be in that situation where we just need to be a little bit more.
Ron.
Yeah, because you've got to make sure it fits the new criteria we want. And also, if they got thousands in the bank, what they coming to us for? If they've got enough, we're not a charity. It's not our money. It's taxpayers' money. So we've got to be mindful of who we give it to. And when they say it's for, and we have to make sure it's in the local area, and we've got to be 100% sure it's of people in that local area, not coming from elsewhere as well. If it's coming from elsewhere, let them bring some money with them.
Sorry, I just to go a little bit further than Councillor Haynes' point. I think for me, I'm okay with them having money in the bank, but actually unexplained money in the bank is I think is the problem. So, for example, if they have an amount of money in the account and which could cover what they're doing, but actually they already have that allocated to another project, I think that they should explain the reasons for it. But I personally want to see our grants actually not being used for people's running costs. I actually want the grant to actually, do good for people. And so that's why I kind of have questioned that in the past, maybe.
Yeah, so the outcome directly benefits the community, but there's also value money for the taxpayers. So it's a fine balance. So we have 3 recommendations. The first being that all grant applications will be given feedback on their application and invited to reapply with additional information. That all grant applications be notified that the maximum amount which will be considered will be £1,500. And 3, that in future no application will be taken to the panel unless they can be fully evaluated at the panel meeting. So I think all 3 recommendations are
All three recommendations are valid.
Yeah.
But I think we're moving forward with the process that we've got to make sure that the information that the applicant receives is enough for them to come back to us with the right information from day one. Saves on officer time, saves on our time, having to bring people back again. So we've got to get our process right, make sure our paperwork is where we want it to be, so we're happy with putting that information out there on the website, putting that out there, do you know what I mean? And then they should then read that and go, right, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, submit.
Yeah.
And then that way we do one-stop shop. I think number 3.
I think that the clerk did share the new forms, the grant forms before with the policy.
Yeah.
So I'm replicating them to put on the website anyway, and I can share the links once I've done that, and you can have another look through, and if any suggestions or improvements, we can do that as well.
On this occasion, because, say for instance, what information is on the website, so it's going on there now, number 1. I don't know, what anybody else thinks?
I think all 3 recommendations are, I suppose we just follow all 3.
I thought it was.
Is it any, are we choosing one out of the 3, or we just?
The recommendations are,
Not give it to them, just.
We haven't got to choose one.
no, do you accept those recommendations? That's what the clerk's asking,
£1,500 and actually,
which I
they're
think are
not
valid.
applications, revaluated.
So I propose we do all of them.
We got a second on that? All those 4? Unanimous. Thank you very much. Right, item number 6, to note a financial management report showing the expenditure against budget for the year to date on community environmental matters for the year to date. This is page 9 to 14 in your pack. So I will go through them. Is there any exceptions that anybody has seen and picked out which they want to talk over?
I'm not sure if anybody can give us an update on youth services and how that's going. Youth services,
We've actually got a item at the end on youth services about considering a review of the whole, what we're doing.
That's what I was talking about,
So there's not a detailed report on the current, what we're doing at the moment, but that is partly for you to consider. Do you want officers or yourself to kind of get involved with that? So we can talk about that at the end if you want.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
I think the 3 swings settled down quite well, isn't it? The cost of that.
It's settled down, but it's sort of, you'll see by the data that it's gone down quite a bit. That's an area we want to talk about how we can.
That's an item.
Item for 8, we can
Yeah, we can pick that one up. Ethan.
It was just, I think that we should note that we've got an amount of money in the budget, in the community budget for Fenny poppers, which is a big go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
Do we want to do something with that money?
Sorry, just to butt in, but don't we need extra for Christmas?
That's been done. That was
Has that been
paid.
sorted?
Well, the money was taken for Christmas to Big Street Heat, which reduced the money for Christmas because we're having a smaller affair here, aren't we?
Yeah,
So that was,
so we didn't need more. I thought there was okay.
no. So that does need to be decided.
I think we need to talk about that. There's an agenda item about future community events. We can talk about Christmas and stuff like that.
We can, because at one stage we were doing it in several areas and then all of a sudden, I don't know who decided it was just happening at Newton Leeds, but.
Well, that's what I put on the report for you to have another chat about that. Yeah.
Yeah, once we get that agenda item, we can
Okay.
crawl over that one, Sean. And I noticed the Fenny poppers. I was kind of thinking about this counselling sessions, and they could probably use something for that. I don't know when we get to it.
So the clerk, you know, in the grant report at the start, you know, with the budget of community funding,
Yeah.
Clark's put it in there as well. The Fenny Poppers 6,300 budgeting, but organisers have determined that the event will not be taking place. So she's kind of put it into community funding. So I don't know.
Yeah. Give me an opportunity there to bolster that up. Okay, so we'll take note of those unless there's any. We'll go on to those when we get to the agenda item on that one there. Item number 7. So this is to receive a management information report on environmental matters. You could talk us through that one, Will?
Yeah, so we've got the allotments waiting list and current occupancy at the moment. So you can see the figures there. I don't know if anyone's got any questions. I can try and answer them, but we'll put them together. There is a bit of a waiting list, and there is vacant, but I think it's in between getting plots ready for them to come through. But at the moment, I think they're quite busy getting them ready.
I don't see them to be too bad. I mean, you've only got one or so, apart from Newton's, it's got 7 vacancies. It's very well attended.
Yeah.
It's going really well.
And from what I hear, it's been quite a tough year in terms of people abandoning them because there's nothing growing. I've heard that.
So
you probably know a bit more, Terry. So there's been, I think the team have been trying to work, you know, when people have kind of just left their plots, the landscaping team has to go in and get it ready for the people that are waiting to get the new people in. So I think that takes time, that period. So it's kind of the.
But there's water at all our allotment sites. There's lots that I'm with. We have no water.
No.
You've got the brook, which is but you know, you have to have your own tank, and mine's down to 0. It's been your own.
Yeah, so which I think people have kind of left them, so we've had to give people notice because they're not doing anything with them.
Yeah.
And that just takes time and them getting the new people. So that's probably the reason for that.
How many people are on the waiting list?
So you've got currently overall on the list 31 across all 4 sites. And then some people might be on multiple sites as well, so it kind of skews the numbers a little bit. But we are, you know, vacant overall. I think it's 11, so you know we're kind of almost there anyway, and I think we will be once we got the others ready.
Can you mention how well I know you mentioned about the planters, but they're looking fantastic.
Yes.
Considering the weather we've had, they've really kept them well watered and they look stunning.
Yes, I think we'll put a bit in there about that.
Yeah, but just to get that feedback.
44 planters now under council maintenance, so they're looking good. So Dave, the caretaker's been out quite, you know, obviously a fair bit doing that.
Yeah.
EV chargers installation, I don't think they're fully complete yet. They were meant to be by this date, but they're not done yet. But they are, it's well underway, if you see them outside here.
Yeah.
I think what we need to think about is the community infrastructure funding. I think by the end of August, we've got to come up with some ideas for the projects in the finance meeting next week. Community by the end of August. So the meeting next week in the finance, any suggestions would be good.
This is over and above what the work that's been done for the town deal.
Yes, so this is Paris is going to apply up to 20k of funding from the SIF programme.
So previous things that we've applied for and been successful in is the solar panels on the roof of Newton Pavilion and the signage that we put around the town and the parish.
Is there anything we can do surrounding Sycamore House, Sycamore Hall?
That's what I say.
About Sycamore, in respect of.
I don't think that we will. So in order for it to qualify for that funding for next year, I do believe it needs to be delivered by the end of March 2027. And I don't know at this stage if we've been given an anticipated time of build, which is about 37 weeks for Sycamore Hall. But until we know the date, quite often contractors need to mobilise for a period of time, and it could be that we could not deliver this before the end of the year. But I do think that I would be putting forward solar panels for that site to go on the roof of the hall. But I don't think that we can for this one. Another thing that I would want to suggest is previously the council set aside a £15,000 towards a trim trail, like a, or is it called calisthenics or something, the outdoor gym. But I think now that we have the Redway going between Newton Lees and past the Lake Estate and going into Bletchley, I actually think it would be good to have a trail, like an outdoor gym trail that went all the way through from Newton Lees into the Blue Lagoon. And so I would kind of say that would be good, a good submission. And we've also allocated money already towards this.
I don't know, the Redway to Eton these last night. It's a nice, lovely Redway.
Yeah.
All the way around. Ish.
Ian, I was going to say, just touching on Ethan's points, yes, I think it's like 35, 36, 37 weeks for our programme that starts in December. So I hope that should be before March 27th. But I mean, is there anything additional from that 20k that we can introduce into the Sycamore Hall project in terms of biodiversity or whatever? I mean, it's just going to be an extra bit of the budget, or if we can, something that's already allocated for
harvest water and stuff like that for the WCs.
It's already included.
It's already there.
If there's anything else that we can think of.
The only thing that I can think that's not included is some kind of biodiverse roof and the solar panels, because we took it out.
And there is one thing that I've seen in the scope, or haven't seen in the scope. It's sort of fairly new for buildings in general, but it's like building, AI in buildings. So essentially, it's artificial intelligence in buildings. I mean, essentially what it does, I think it can cut energy consumption by 50 to 60% just by putting sensors on doors, on your boilers. After a period of time, it builds up a model of how the building is used, and what days of the week more people coming into the office, etc. And then it optimizes, the lights turn on and off automatically. Same with, toilets, for example, in terms of flushes in urinals, that will all be optimized essentially. But again, it's something which,
It'd be more expensive, though, isn't it? Having all that technology.
Well, I mean, you'd think it's expensive, but I mean, all it boils down to is just putting sensors in a load of places, which aren't really expensive. And then it's just an algorithm that basically learns. Yeah, I mean, the algorithm just learns, and then essentially long term, it just provides you with energy saving essentially.
It could be future-proofing.
So because we formally replied with the SIF, yeah? What we think, and what's the timescales we need it in by?
Well, it's end of August and.
Okay.
So we need to make a recommendation.
I love the trim trail idea.
Yeah, I'd like to. And also, I've just been to done a half at Emton Park, and they've just introduced, all the little nature kids things that when you go around, so
Science.
anything like science, but it's like it can also be like a trivia thing that's already implanted on, just like like them brick things. It's like a brick carving, but then it's got like a nature thing for the kids to do all the things alongside the gym thing. It's quite, I think it's a really good idea.
So normally the 4 rules are, Chair, but it solves a persistent problem, it improves safety, it benefits the community and adds value. And I think that, and so actually, I think before we have the building open and we have a baseline of what the energy costs are, it's very difficult to prove what the kind of, we all know it's add value, but actually a lot of people will want you to show the baseline so they can actually see the difference. But I think with this, with the kind of trim trail thing that I proposed, I think it improves safety because it gets more people out using these things. It benefits the community, and of course, we live in a society where actually, a lot of our people cannot afford to go to the gym or to pay for things. So actually to have something external that they could use would be good.
And I think it's great because that's supposed to have been part of the Lakes Estate when we were supposed to be doing the regeneration. They were supposed to do a little gym thing and they haven't done it. So I think it would be really nice if people that use the Bluey to go around and get some more. It's more exciting to take that as children and the adults as
There are
well.
two things there then. So we've got the trim trail and we've got those sort of things that the kids
Yeah.
do on the Blue Lagoon, because Blue Lagoon's not
can-
really safer now, but
We
I'm
can,
worried it is the ASB.
we can subject multiple things.
Okay. Are they fireproof?
Or
Oh, so you mean, yeah, I've seen
Those
that.
sort of things.
So around Winner Lake, you've got a lot of stuff like this.
So that's at Everton Park, they just put all
That's
them in, but just
Yeah, that's
along with
really
the
good.
gym
Okay.
thing.
Okay, so you've got two ideas there. Have you got any more?
Have we thought about, because I know we've got infrastructure to put into a Sycamore Hall. Have we thought about security, CCTV cameras, stuff like that?
I think benefits to the community, I think some more visual would be good.
Yeah.
Something like a trim trail or something like that, would actually
I mean,
physically see
something
that
that we-
fact of our infrastructure.
It's something that we have to think about
Yeah.
regarding safety, and it's not just for the council
I believe it's
workers.
in the budget.
Is it?
I would have thought so.
Security system and CCTVs.
Moving on from what Ethan was saying, can we sort of ask for things like for swings in all our play areas for disabled children? Because we haven't got nothing like that in any of our play areas, you know. And I've seen it in other places where it's just a wheelchair.
Lakes Estate's getting one,
Yeah.
we're getting one
But
for
I
the
mean,
new
if we
park.
get it in all our play areas, then everybody,
Hasn't Leon Rec got one?
no.
No, they haven't. It should have one, really.
If someone took some disabled children over there.
But maybe we could apply for,
Can I
there's-
finish?
no, I'm just saying, there's normally park
Yeah.
funding available
Yeah.
separately.
But as I said, someone took some disabled children over there and they've nothing to play on. That's
No,
six.
take a ramble and that's not good.
Yeah, so
Ish.
So we need to get back by the 12th of August. I mean, is it fine for us to make our own proposals and
Week.
put it to the Finance and Governance Committee?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Well, we'll need some cost for this stuff, won't we? It's not, some of this stuff's gonna be cheap. Might look at-
We might be able to do
Yeah,
two things,
Yeah.
or three things rather than just one thing as well.
If you like to speak to Laura Clancy,
Yes, I'm seeing it Friday anyway. Yeah.
she might be able to give you some quotes for both.
I have previously looked at the trim trail and it was installed about 3K an item. So actually 10 items would be 30K.
That's not too bad, is it? That's got to be, it's not reasonable. Wow.
it's equipment and installation.
I expected more, yeah, that's pretty good.
So, but I mean, this was about 5 years ago, so maybe some inflation.
A little bit maybe.
Well, I'm happy to push out the cost because I've met a couple of people recently who do work in this sort of building information for public buildings in that sense and offices. Again, off the top of my head, it was like in the single digit thousands to actually get this stuff installed. So it wasn't very expensive at all, but it does have a lot of long-term savings. And it's part of our commitment to net zero as well in terms of reducing the energy consumptions and stuff.
Still about the same thing.
No, talking about the.
I was talking about the AI in buildings.
Oh,
So I'm happy to sort of get a.
I was going to say, I am sure that the specification for the new building included sensors already. So I don't know what building management system that connects to or what's in that. But I do know that in terms of climate change kind of issues, we do want to kind of have sensors in the building to kind of turn things off.
This is almost like an automatic, so I mean, over a course of like 3-6 months or as long as the building's being used, it builds up a model of how the building's being used. And then essentially it optimizes, it automatically turns a boiler on when it's needed, when it thinks it's going to be, it checks on the news, it knows it's going to be a cold week next week. So for example, the weather goes up, or it knows that there's train strikes, so there knows to be less people in the office and things like that, you know, or it's snowing, things like that, you know, it's, so it kind of automatically tells.
I mean, is that something we can just look into and then look into the fact that we've got something proposed for the sensors and can't we just integrate it?
Yeah, because I don't see anything in terms of AI. I mean, you've generally got sensors on everything in AI, like climate control and things like that. That'll optimise. You know,
Yeah, I think I still think we should look at things more visual, where people in the community.
We have to bear in mind this community as well.
Okay, what's the final recommendation do you want me to, for the notes and principal finance?
Certainly the Trim Trail.
Yeah.
And those sort of children's.
The mixture of both.
Yeah, I think anything to do with the building, we should leave with the building at this point. We don't know, you know, in terms of our schedule and things like that, and it'd be nice to sort of
Do something for the
to the
community.
community, say, look, that's what we've done, and the swing, terms of the swings up.
I just-
Whatever that is, I don't know.
I was just gonna
In the swing.
we are, so myself and the clerk and other members of the building committee are aware that anything to do with the building, which is energy saving, is likely to be able to attract funding from other bodies that are, you know, that specifically do climate change funding. And so I kind of agree with Councillor Weimer's point that actually, you know, if this is about community infrastructure, it should be something that really adds to the community and something that we might not get funding from or elsewhere.
Yeah, that's a really good point. You all right with that, John?
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Thank you, that's a really good.
So we agreed to submit both.
We're looking for 3, aren't we?
Yeah.
The disabled swing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a mix of it?
Yeah, or a mix of. That's really good. Thank you. Okay, let's move on. Oh, the other thing is the new artwork.
The artwork, yes.
The bluey.
Seen it?
I love it. I think it's great. Actually ran past it the other day, but I didn't stop, which is a bit frightening, really, because I haven't seen it now. So the bluey, so there's only 7,000 wild black poplars in the UK, and there's only fewer than 600 female trees, so it's actually quite rare. And it does support moth caterpillars, hawk moths, and wood leopards. Just got a couple of questions. Can we have like a QR code on it or something, so you could scan and sort of say?
There is a QR code on it.
Oh, there you go.
So on
You can see it in the,
that little silver thing.
Oh,
Sorry?
I only know because I sat on it.
Is it actually in that location?
Yeah, it's down the bottom.
Yeah, down.
How many times?
We're going to look afterwards if you want.
Exactly. So that's. Are there any plans for any others in the Blue Lagoon?
Not that I'm aware of.
So it's called the
Yeah.
Blue, and it's not actually in the Blue.
No, I don't know. Find out.
There might be other things that we could. Well, that could be another thing we can look at.
I do believe this was funded from public art money that was allocated to Newton Lees
Okay.
rather than the Blue Lagoon. That's why it is where it
Is that
is.
from Alfonso as well?
So the same funding that built Alfonso.
Yeah. Very good. No, I think it's really nice. It got done really well. Yeah, and I guess we haven't published it. Anything wider, you know, in the wider public, because we can see this, but I'm not sure it's been publicised.
It's going to go in the newsletter.
Oh,
The
good.
next one that's coming
Okay.
up very soon. We're finalising this week. And I think it's been on social media. I'll have to check. If not, I'll make sure the post goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few people walk up from Friday.
Mhm.
Look at it. Very good. Okay. So that's that one. Thank you very much for that one. Item number 8 is to receive a report on the health and wellbeing services provided by the council, town council, and consider the recommendations therein. 1 being swimming sessions at Bletchley Leisure Centre, and 2 the counselling sessions.
Should I speak to this one?
Yeah.
Chair? So yes, I put a report in on the swimming sessions, came up earlier, I think, from you, Councillor Hayne. It just kind of shows the data of the last well, you can see the data further down, but really from sort of April, May, June, compared to last year. It's now with Serco Leisure, used to be with Inspire All. We had a bit of challenges with the data, get the data itself through, but I think they're kind of up to speed with everything now and on top of it. So I think there was a few discrepancies. The numbers are slightly lower compared to last year in terms of the number of swims. I don't know whether that's due to, I think it's due to the fact that people had trouble with the new system and getting these, but I think they've resolved the challenges they've had. And I think the next report with the new numbers, I think we'll see them coming up to similar detail to last year.
Ethan?
Has the cost of a swim gone down, or?
It hasn't.
Yeah.
I think cost of swim went up slightly. We had a price increase, which I haven't got it here, but I think they did go up slightly.
So I only asked that because based on the numbers that are here,
Mhm.
the 20, we must have been overcharged then, because actually it's,
Questions have been asked.
yeah.
Yeah, so the finance manager, Mr. Brown, has been speaking to the people at the leisure centre because there was discrepancies with data and there are some queries, some concerns which are being kind of investigated. Yes. Yeah, I haven't felt confident, with the new people taking over and what we were getting. Well, we didn't have anything for 3 months, so we had a meeting, as well as West Bletchley, who do the scheme as well. We had a meeting and we kind of put a bit of pressure on to get this information forward. So I'm hoping the next lot we get through, we're going to see something in line with what it should be. But yeah, I agree that it didn't seem correct.
What's other?
So other is disabled people on kind of support, universal credit, registered unemployed, looking for help. So it's the kind of benefit side of things.
My thing is the significant drop in the under 16s. I think that's the group we really want to make sure they can swim and be safe. As a way of.
But there again, nowadays, open water swimming this time of year is the in thing. They all do that, don't they?
They want to do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is it safe swimming now?
Yeah.
Well, I've always said open water swimming's not safe.
So I think one of the feedback or suggestions was any additional information we'd like to see in future reports.
Yes.
I mean, the under 16 category, I think it's a bit broad. I mean, it'd be good to get a split in terms of under 6s, under 10s, and then under 16s, and that's so we've got an idea of, is it just teenagers going, or is it, is there an even split on there? 'Cause I mean, if there aren't very many young children going, for example, then we know that's an underrepresented demographic that we want to promote it to, for example, and vice versa.
I don't think the leisure centre capture that data. So I think that they they get a form and they're asked, either for, whether they're that, and
Okay,
so we might have to ask them to change.
Yes.
They might kind of ask us to pay more if we do that. I mean, we could of course ask. I think the other thing that we could do is currently we rely on the leisure centre to do all the validation of the membership, and is this something that can be done from Sycamore House? And then it would be our data and we would be able to know.
Yeah, the other thing I thought about was sort of postcode clusters. Where are all these people coming from? Is it from one demographic? Also, where people from Fenny not participate, for example. Yeah, I've picked up the age ranges, which would be really good. Postcodes. And I guess we don't get people's names, do we? Whether they're first time, they're new swimmers, or they're just the same people come every year.
We can get postcode data, we can get that straight away.
Session timings, things about, could we make it more accessible for working families?
See, now, I would have thought that any child under the age of probably 11, 12 would be going with their parents. So, under 16s is, can they sign up by themselves at 16?
No.
Or they need to be with a parent? Excuse me?
An adult.
So they need to be with an adult.
Because the parent pays.
It's not the sort of thing we could do if, maybe a bit out there, is have some money for the odd swimming lesson, where you've got an instructor for a certain, for swimmers who validate to these rules. Like I say, you just go in the pool with someone who can't swim as well, so you're just going to be in a pool, aren't you?
Funding swimmers.
Exactly a session, wouldn't it? You'd have to have a session where it'd be just non-swimmers
Yes.
and they're getting taught by an instructor.
Yeah.
But then that would then, you'd have to then get a time, 2 hours, 2 hour session,
Just
1 hour
not
session.
16s really at this first part, just to get them. I don't know if it's worth looking into.
I can do that.
So much it costs, whether we reduce the amount of funding, but all move some funding to that.
So I do have a view on this, and I think, like, I do think it is, I can understand that there are maybe people that can't afford to pay for swimming, and but I just would say, where would that stop? You know, so is it that what is the need that we are trying to actually deal with, and actually could we fulfill all of the need that is out there? I know that I thought it was important for my child to swim, and I paid the £40 a month that I did, and I just really, I think there's a fine line that we have to keep, and I personally think that education is the responsibility of parents, and so yeah.
But I think it's, I mean, don't quote me, but I'm sure when you go into year 5 and 6 of school,
They do.
swim lessons is.
Yeah, but it's such a different
It's
range,
not-
you know?
It's not for me, it's not enough.
No, it might have been, I'm
No.
not just saying they
They
do
literally
get
have a
swim
half an
lesson
hour,
5 and 6.
and you can do like.
Yeah, my son, once a week.
But
Year
we've
3.
got to remember, like, where does it stop if you?
Yeah, I just think.
It's expensive as well, I think.
One shoe fits all, and there's a massive community out there that we then have to service.
Let's get a price and consider it, but I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
just being.
just, you know, the younger age group and,
Put it on the next
do we have
slide.
anything like on cancellations or anything like that? You know, to people, they don't book today and say, we're going to turn
I
up.
think they just, no, they
Just
go
rock
in,
up.
they rock up, there's space they can go in.
And ideas on how we can attract or improve our numbers. The only thing I thought was things like GP surgeries, libraries, community centres, just not online, because could have some posters.
Yes.
It's
To
available.
be fair, we haven't promoted this service for quite a while. You know, we used to do it quite a lot.
Was that free?
Promote the free swimming. We speak, you know, we used to promote it quite a lot, and then we had high numbers. Essentially, you know, it's we'll see what the next lot of data looks like, and we could do some more.
Yeah.
I think you'd have to get the data right first.
But it's, yeah, we rely on, yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Any other thoughts on that?
What about how we can get more people?
Yeah,
Well, you can only, it's all about advertising. and
it's
marketing.
re-advertised.
Advertising, marketing, business strategy, if you know what I mean, and then apply that.
Yeah.
Schools, you know, mums and toddlers, there's all different groups out there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Single mothers, do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Number 2, so this is on the counselling sessions. So this is on page 25 in your pack. So the ask here is, so currently we, for 18 clients per quarter, but there's a huge demand at the moment. We're looking at 25 referrals per quarter that they're looking for. So the increase in that would be around 10k, I think. Yeah.
Around £2.5 grand.
Yes, so 25.2 we pay for 18, the 35 to 25, and the projected demand is over 21. So we know we operate 18 clients from January to June, 25 December referrals received, 21 above the current contracted capacity. In July alone, 10 new referrals were recorded, indicating a continued upward trend in demand.
my concern last time we addressed the situation was the concern of the councillors themselves. And the fact that their sessions weren't long enough, that they wanted us to pay for more hours or more hours per session, that was going to come up to a little tidy sum. And so I'd like to sort of like know what that model looks like now, whether the counsellors and the sessions for the individual patients needed more time, and or do they want more money because they want more clients through the door?
I think they're just getting a lot more people wanting the service, so it's no referrals. So the people that they are getting are getting benefits of it. So the number of sessions they get for their referral.
This is an open book, isn't it? It's always an open book with the amount of demand for services within inside the community. The demand in Milton Keynes for mental health services, this service, that service, this service. We're only a small council, we can only do so much. I'm not saying that because year on year on year, every single time this contract comes back around again, the demand's going to be even higher. Do we then go, right, another 5, another 10, another 20? And how far do we stretch our remit? Is the only concern that I've got. I 100% agree with mental health services and supplying some services. Where do we cap it?
I think it's a vital service anyway, and because the NHS don't have any counsellors, I've got a friend who's a counsellor. He's lost his contract to the NHS because he was doing it for them. They've cut back so much, and that's probably why the demand's gone up. And I think it is a vital service, especially for men, because men can't cope with stress and depression as well as what women can. And
I think some of them can, Sam.
some of
I don't know if
them.
that's not generalised.
No, but I'm just saying, you know, it's hard for them to talk to people as well. So I just think, I don't think we need a cap. I just think we need to make sure that our residents get the best counselling as possible.
They certainly do. If you look at the PHQ
and the quality of service as well.
Comes at a cost, guys.
I think it's really valued. I hear Richard with regards to the increase in cost. I actually think that our parish has grown substantially over the last few years, and we've seen we've seen more residents, and so I do think, you know, I personally would be happy to increase it by 10k. Interestingly, I did plot the postcodes earlier, and there is not a single person from Newton Leeds. So MK22 is what I think is Fenny, Stratford and the Trees Estate, and MK23 is the Lake Estate. So it actually feels that it's like a huge central swathe of Bletchley and Fenny, Stratford, but none of Water Eaton, none of Queensway, none of the Leon area, none of the Newton Leeds. So my kind of thing is there something that is going on with these particular areas of our community that we're unaware of, or is it just that we're not really getting the advertising through to the other areas of the community? And so I kind of think that we should do that. So I would propose kind of two things. One, that we increase the funding to the 35k per year. I do think that we do have to have, it's sad, but we do have to have a limit on, you know, what we have, because otherwise it would just be you. I think as much as we could provide, I think would get used up and valued.
Do we have this extra money?
Well, I was thinking we've got community grants in terms of we've got poppers.
Put that aside.
I can speak. I think we have. I can speak to finance manager.
We have got the community grants as well, which you could.
I think we should put in the poppers into allocation, because if that comes back next year, we won't have that. Yeah. So.
This could be a recommendation to finance next week.
That's what I was going to say. We need to make sure whatever we do in this committee, that when we stick it on the budget, the precepts will go up. So whatever we decide, we've got to make sure that we're financially sound and not just go A, B, C and then give it away. I'm just making it part of this process that we have to remember that we you know, any increases in anything we do as a council will go on the precept at some point in time, because we need to deliver the service. Once you start delivering the service, it's going to be hard to take it away from the public. I'm just saying. Okay? I'm just going to flip out. Sorry.
So, Chair, for my mind, we have 6k from Fenny Coppers that we can move, and also I note that we are 42% of the way through the town council's year, and we have only spent 23% of the free swims.
Yes.
So I think that we could do something there.
Yeah.
If councillors are not minded to support that, then we could actually say, okay, we could say increase by 5k, and
21.
we would consider.
Ish.
Sorry. Yeah, so I was just going to ask, so it's based in West Bletchley, but saying the majority of the referrals are from MK2 and MK3. But is there a possibility for us, especially with the new Sycamore Hall going on in that sense, to bring it in-house and bring it closer to where it's, I mean, that could have an impact in terms of the cost. It could bring the cost down if we've got it.
So my understanding is a lot of it is telephone counselling, or if it is face to face.
There is face-to-face as well.
They've got a building. They've actually got a building over there.
So they've got counselling rooms over in, that's why I had the meeting.
Yeah, it says notably most clients now request in-person sessions, but yeah, I think they do use face-to-face Zoom, WhatsApp and phone, but it says that they're requesting in-person
They are
sessions.
struggling for space. With the concerns that came up last time, because they've got a lot of demand, they've got access to a lot of counsellors as well on there.
Okay, so if the demand's
It did
here,
come up, they did mention about location, you know, I know it's not going, but like a Spotlight, we've got counselling rooms in there as well, but yeah.
So we could,
Do that.
because we've got the extra, don't let the free swim in, the council, the community grants, toppers, we can cover it for this financial year. So I think, look, you know, I agree we should, because the feedback has just been tremendous. If you've seen the report of the people whose PHQ and the GAD's got before, and they have to, it's just, look, jobs, they've got their confidence, they've got everything, exactly what the outcome you want at least.
I don't have a
these
problem
services.
with increasing it, but I do have a problem with increasing it from where we're taking it, because come next year, we're going to look at the figures, we're going to want to do it again, and we ain't going to have that money. So we need to go back to finance and see if there's another.
You either go 25, you go 21, to go halfway, because I think we can support more.
The thing is, you've got the one course has already gone as well, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not be quite 10k anyway, because
No.
one course has already gone, so
Yeah.
you're looking at the remaining 3 quarters,
Yeah.
where you're going to increase from 18 to 25, so it's going to be more sort of 7.5, really.
But you're not going to have that, so you're taking it from a budget. that
It
we're not
has to
gonna
come,
have.
yeah, so
Is
we
what
have
I'm
to-
trying to say.
So I think you do make a point, and what we could do is say, we're happy to support it for this year, but actually, finance, it has to be proposed as part of the budget for
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah, if
And
you
then
want,
scrutinised at finance, and it's a yes, we can afford it, or no,
yeah,
we
We
can't.
move some to the swimming.
yeah, or like you say, you kind of rejig things around a little bit.
No, but we could say that, you can remove some of the money from the swimming and provide the council services. So you wouldn't end to be
It's a
paying
shame.
more,
Yeah,
but the demand is there for it.
yeah, that's what I mean.
We can see how we end up with the swimming numbers anyway. So, you know,
Yeah.
it will
Yeah.
become apparent
So-
in the next few months anyway, so.
Do you want to propose that, Ethan?
So I propose that we fund it up until the end of the year.
Yeah.
I'm going to, and on the basis that we're 3/4 of the year through, I'm going to suggest that we kind of pay 7,500 towards increasing it the full year cost of 10k. And that it is not assumed that this amount would be agreed next year and would be subject to agreement for finance to fund, to have a funded increase from next year.
So a second.
So to clarify, you're saying 7.5, not 10.
Because we've already had more than 3 months.
Yeah, no, I'm
taken.
just, because
Yeah.
obviously you're taking it from the Poppers money, so is it
Well, we don't know
7.5?
yet, we have to,
If
to
finance say yes,
Yeah.
it'd be 7.5 out of the 10 from the Poppers money.
yeah, because we've done 1 quarter already, so the 25 for the rest of the year, you know, each quarter now will be
There's a second for that proposal.
I'll second that.
All those in
You don't
favour?
want to be waiting for them.
You know, sorry.
Okay.
That's good. No, it's a really good service. So beneficial. Number 9, so we're now going to have about the forthcoming community events. Yeah.
So the community events officer has put this together. The Big Street Eat obviously happened last week. There's an internal evaluation going on, so I haven't got the report on that yet, but I can provide that next time. But it's looking at kind of what's coming up next. So we've got the patch at Leon Rec, which I know Davina's been sort of in preparation for, and everything seems to be going well in terms of what we did last year, if everyone can remember. The pumpkin patch, which was good. So we're kind of repeating the festivities there. Again, it's still, still preparations in place. It's a while off yet. Well, I say it's a while off. It'll come around quick. Christmas event. Planning is happening as well. I mean, it was agreed that it was Newton Lees Pavilion. I believe that's still the case, and that hasn't changed.
Yeah.
And then Lunar New Year. Again, is suggested to be at Newton Lees Pavilion. However, I think this probably needs to be spoken about if you want it kind of elsewhere. Maybe, I don't know. So,
It's in
yeah,
it's in January.
it is.
7th February.
Yeah, 7th February.
It's going to be fun.
So I think with all events, we've got solid plans in place yet. I'd like to recommend, a working group meeting as soon as possible to discuss a number of these items, really.
Maybe.
The only thing I think is we've got 4 hours for Christmas and it's only £18,000. I thought by taking that away
I
from.
think it's reduced a little bit because we took some out for Big Street Eat, didn't we?
Seems to have a lot of
So I think it
money.
has dropped a little bit. So I think we took 5.
I don't think it's that much.
We took 5 out.
That's what I mean, it's so much money.
But it's not, is it? Because they haven't took it off.
Yeah, that's 5K's come off that.
Oh,
That went to Big Street
I
Eat.
saw that figure, I thought, wow,
Yeah.
in the
So
building.
I would say that's not accurate. I think there's
No.
take 5K off that went to Big
Oh,
Street Eat.
okay. Right.
I do have a concern about all of the events being at Newton Lees Pavilion.
About being.
And
I agree.
And I think it's great. I live in Newton Lees, yeah, and I love this building being used. And this kind of demonstrates to me why we badly need Sycamore Hall
Yes.
to open. But I just worry from the community's perspective. It is right at the edge of the parish. It's for some people difficult to get to. It's not served well by public transport. If you get off the bus, you've got a long walk down here. But I also kind of note that if you look at the IFDAR, just how much we are charged for using that venue. I won't say the amount, but you can look at those figures there.
Yeah.
And you see there's a massive difference. And it's like, because there is a real lack of other venues in Bletchley and Fenny, Stratford, I think it would be really difficult to hold it anywhere else. George Street, we're going to have a parking issue, and so that might impact on the numbers.
It's a smaller venue as well.
I just want to make the point that I don't know how we can solve it, but it doesn't feel right that everything's here.
I think that under the circumstances and the lack of quite massive halls that we can use, and hiring is expensive, then we use what we've got until such times. And I hear what you're saying, that yes, but this is one of our premier.
Could officers speak to either the Masons or the Dons and see if they might be able to kind of help us with?
I can speak to them, I can speak to the Masons.
So I just think, I think councillors should have a choice.
Mm.
And if there was a choice, we might be able to consider that.
Mhm.
But very happy to have it in Newton Leeds. I just think it's difficult for everybody else to attend.
McDonald's is on the edge, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we should be doing like, I know it's going to be too hard, too close to see how Christmas goes, and then look, it's going to be too short notice, isn't it? That's the problem.
And that's the event that.
Well, we can, yeah, that's what I mean.
How big a space do you need for Christmas?
Ideal.
How big a space?
It's actually what I think.
That's what you've got to look at. So the logistics of putting the event on and how big a space you're going to need. That then determines where you're going to go to hire. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think, originally it was agreed to have Christmas here, that was agreed at the meeting, wasn't it?
Is a plan to use both rooms?
Yes,
Could
and
you-
some of the car park.
Could you kind of do two, one at Coronation Hall and one here, maybe? I don't know. So then you
I
can-
don't know. I mean, I couldn't have been at the meeting when you decided it was going to be just here, so I must have
No,
missed that.
no, the meeting was, well, we can't use Queensway anymore, so it's going to be inside.
How big?
George Street was too small, even though,
Oh, yeah, because
Did
you
it
can't use
superbly.
Queensway because of the.
yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, so.
And then it was decided about, it was to weatherproof as well, because if we cancelled last year,
Yeah, but
our first year we cancelled, so, because you could look at doing, you could have looked at doing something at Fenny Stratford, road closure, and there's not what's going on there.
Hmm.
But again, it came back to the whole weather issue and
Again,
losing all that.
Again, we'll go back to how big is the event. That will then determine the amount of space you're going to need.
But it sounds like it for, I mean, even if you took £5,000 off the 17 that's on this, it seems a hell of a lot of money for this venue for a Christmas event, to me. From
So,
personal experience of doing a Christmas
Yeah,
event,
yeah.
but I don't know what.
Did you
The breakdown.
But I know
Right,
Aventus to
space.
be, Aventus, the infrastructure for various things that will be involved, are involved, but again, we'll get more detail once as it goes on.
when we opened this venue in, I think it was 2018, maybe, we, I think our budget was, so I think all the things cost money. So for example, we had an ice skating in the car park, that was like £2,000.
Mm.
So a lot of the things that you kind of buy in, that's what kind of adds the cost. I don't know what is that in.
Well, none of us, so it would be good to know
Breakdown.
before we
Mm.
really be.
That's what I think the working group
Yeah.
meeting needs to happen to get the detail and then
Yeah.
take it back.
Yeah, do that.
For the October meeting.
Go back to how big's the event.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
get a breakdown of the event and find out exactly what the running costs are going to be, but you still need to know how big the event's going to be, and then that determines the space.
Mhm.
If you're going to use two sides of the whole of this building, that's two sides, then that's a big space.
Nice size, that, yeah.
Then that rules out George Street, it rules out quite a lot of places.
Yeah, fun things next door.
That's what I'm saying, So, working group,
Because we're still selling for the Christmas tree this year, because that's in Stanier Square anyway, isn't it? So that's sound anyway. But, and the
I need
lights,
to check actually,
Stanier Square's not going to be touched.
no, so the
No.
Christmas tree should be all right, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
I will check that though, because I
Yeah.
can't.
Could you
remember.
double check on the
Yeah.
lights as well? I'm sure I asked that question before and they said it was okay. But they were saying about renewing it.
We renewed for another year, didn't we?
Yeah.
We did a year
So it
contract.
must be okay
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
But we double check anyway.
Yeah.
Have some sort of Christmassy things in Queens.
We don't want to be paying for Christmas lights and then all of a sudden actually we don't have any
No,
electric
yeah.
in the panels. We just.
That'd be a good one. Daily Mail one.
Okay, another meeting then.
Okay.
Great.
But it's different this year because it's a different Christmas event, isn't it? So
Yes.
I don't really know a bit, what's the art of possible?
Yeah.
And what's the possible and cost?
We should have a amazing.
So just the recommendations, Chair.
So we've got, public impact, consider approving the additional face painter to help manage the queues and improve the visitor experience. It was busy last year, it was actually because.
As long as it was within budget.
Do you want to do them as single recommendations or all in
Yeah,
one?
single.
So, the proposal here is to consider the additional face painter. It was very, very popular last year, and
Big
very
queue.
much enjoyed by everybody. So, all those in favour of that one? No. Lunar New Year, consider waiving the trader pitch fee to encourage broader participation in this first-time event. Suggest venues NLP again, but do members have alternative suggestions, bearing in mind Queensway will not be an option?
It's a shame that place is so expensive to hire, isn't it?
It's a hall.
Alice?
Something that would have been like a great spot, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's really expensive.
Yeah.
How big is this event? Lunar New Year.
I would assume it's going to be just the same as
It'd be a
it.
big, yeah. I don't see, well,
I
what's
don't
the,
see it
what's
as big
the
as Iftar.
I
I
mean,
not see it as big as.
so,
£5,000, so there's not a lot.
I don't know. I know there's a community here. I don't think that our reach is as embedded into that community
No.
as it is into the iftar community. But I think it's going, we've got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it may be that officers could go back and say, could we, if we had a second date, could we get a much cheaper deal for both of them, right?
But again, what are we actually, sorry, because I don't really know much about the Lunar New Year. Is it, what is it? What is it that we're trying to,
So
is it a dinner? Is it?
the
what is
event
it?
will feature a range of stalls, this is the suggested, a range of stalls, traditional entertainment and crafts and participation from local community groups. Street food will be available throughout the day. So it's similar.
It's Chinese New Year, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Dragons.
I think Council and Co has been, providing suggestions as well.
So it's not like a sit down dinner or anything.
No.
Just to recognise.
Something that would be better, sit down dinner with a ticketed.
But like I said, we haven't got that size of community as we've got.
You've only got a £5,000 budget for that as
Yeah.
well, so it's not a huge amount.
Space.
So it's got to be small.
The amount we can get.
Yeah, and it won't.
It's the initial one as well, so,
Yeah, so
like we've always started small and increased.
yeah, I mean, a lot of other parishes, I've seen done it sort of this year.
And how's that been then?
Yeah, they did one a bit broad. Well,
Yeah, I know
it was well received.
But they've got that high community in that area.
Possibly, yeah.
Because I know, because they have, similar to my role, they have community connectors in that.
Yeah.
So it's easier, isn't it?
So any other options we're looking at? And the trader pitch fee?
I think we should waiver the trader pitch fee for the first time, and you've given it a go here anyway, haven't we? So just let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
And if we see that it's popular, then change it for next year.
Yeah.
You've got data then that you can actually.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Want to attract
All those
people
in
to-
favour of that one? Yeah, it's fine. BBSE, 2026, we're looking at a theme for event, it's just really the 2026 game, which is in Glasgow, I believe. next year.
Haven't we got the World Cup going on as well?
Apparently it's before, it's finished by the time,
Yeah,
it's finished by the
By the
time,
end of
The World Cup's finished before.
yeah,
Ah.
that's why
Okay,
it's done the Commonwealth Games, because that's on
all
it.
in favour?
Yeah.
I've got a question.
Oh,
I mean,
is it, who wants that one?
a lot of the works on Queensway would have been completed by then, wouldn't it? So I mean, hopefully,
hopefully,
yeah.
We were back there.
I mean, essentially there'll be a new look there. I
Yeah,
mean, can we
celebration.
incorporate that into the theme of Big Street Eat in terms of like,
Yeah,
new identity, evolution, renewal,
sense of pride.
sense of pride. I've got that.
it's opening, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, we can have sporty things in there, but still.
well, you can have both. I mean, it's sort of just like it's a new look essentially.
look,
That's supposed
fresh
to be there, So it's again just sort of celebrating that sort of start of the new look, really.
You recognise it, aren't you? Yeah.
Again, it could be good to promote.
Oh, sorry. Henderson next year, 250,
We don't promote ourselves enough as a town council. Could be something that we can do. we don't promote ourselves as doing anything good for this concept, for the town. We should really be out there promoting Bletchley and Fenny Stratford Town Council, you know, New Queensway, New Aylesbury Street. This
I think we do.
This is the money that we spent for you.
So this is almost like a bit of an opening, because I mean, it's going to be different.
So what would
there,
the thing be
essentially.
then? A bit
As in
confused.
Rebirth, renewal,
Yeah.
rejuvenated, that kind of stuff.
Big set of sporty things are
Yeah, it's not very attractive, is
not
it?
big.
We can have the Commonwealth stuff going on as
Yeah.
well, but it's just as a general.
Incorporate the
theme,
two together.
essentially.
Yeah, we can all incorporate the two together, yeah.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Right, so
The Commonwealth thing.
you've got the Commonwealth theme, but the rebirth of the town centre type situation.
That's fine.
The main thing for the main.
Can we have a community parade like the Commonwealth Games, where they all come out?
Yeah. Why not?
Well, I don't,
Why not?
it's all about the countries coming together, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is what we had a big street eat. That's
Yeah.
why I wanted the Commonwealth game, because
Yeah.
it's all the different countries coming
I
together
love that.
and playing together. So that's
Well, then
what we had at Bletchley that day.
goes back to what we originally, the big street eat was all about, was about a sense of pride and getting the communities out and a bit of integration and cooperation.
What do we ask conveners to think about our magic, how we can combine, the first time we've used the street and.
I think it's,
and-
I personally think it's inherent in the project, so
It
like,
just-
we'll have a different street and we'll make sure that it's shown off. So it's kind of thing, I don't think we necessarily need to kind of, we really need to kind of design anything around the event other than it's going to be a much better space
Yeah,
to have events in.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Agreed.
Okay, enjoy.
Ben's working. So we all in favour?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you good with that?
Yeah, fine.
Next.
So we're going
Next
to,
one
And
is,
the working group, do you want me to get Davina to send you some dates? That you
yeah,
can-
the
Rather
teams,
than agreeing
Yeah.
now. so I
We
think
could not have
will
it
it be on
in.
Teams? Will it be on Teams?
It can be on Teams, it can,
Yeah,
it's hybrid,
September.
yeah, we can do both, so if someone's come in, should we do both?
Yeah.
So you either come into.
Early September, if we could possibly make it.
yeah.
Early September.
August
Yeah,
is just a
July.
bit too.
Yeah, I think it needs to happen as soon as possible, so that's September soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sent a note to Davina I think I copied you in. I met with a group called Black Sheep.
Yes, I remember seeing,
And,
yeah, that's
and
well.
I think it would be really good to talk to them. They've done a lot of half events in the kind of north. They've done a lot of events around, social value. Very well connected with the queer community. I think it would be good to talk to them about how we can refresh some of the art, because they do a lot of arty things. And when we do art, we're able to get money from the Arts Council to help fund things. So I think it would be good to talk to them about next year's programme.
Okay, yeah, I know she has made contact, I don't know what she's got back, but I'll chase it up, yeah. Thanks, Ethan.
Lovely.
Item number 12 on the, or 10 on the agenda, something. 33, 34. In this. Okay, so this one's got around to consider a review of the town council's youth activity provisions
Not for me.
for 26 and 27 and thereafter. So we've been supporting the youth activity provision for many years, for almost a decade. This work was undertaken through a long-standing partnership with Bletchley Youth Centre, formerly MK Youth Network. Currently, Youth Centre delivers 2 youth club sessions per week, one in Newton Leeds, one in the Lakes Estate. Additionally, the Town Council has worked with the MK Play Association, an organisation that provides recreational club opportunities, particularly during school holidays. And more recent 5 on it, which provides football sessions independently on rec. So much of the Town Council's budget is dedicated to appealing to families and young people. As part of good governance and strategic planning, members are asked to consider whether the current activities best meet the needs of the local people, or whether an alternative or expanded offer should be explored for 26-27 and future years. The Town Council does not have a clear and documented purpose setting out what it hopes to achieve with its spending on services. The current offer targets a specific age group and traditional activities. These are not charged for some years, they're not changed for some years. though the needs and experience of young people have changed significantly following the pandemic and ongoing digital transformation of society.
Blah, blah, blah.
There's a lot.
That was a lot of.
So it's a review. It's a review.
So how do we measure, this is the one, how do we measure our youth services and the impact it's having on the youth? How do we measure that? And is that fit for purpose today? Is it reaching the demographics that we want? And are they delivering?
And are they getting the attendance?
Are they delivering the attendance up, down? Do you know what I mean? There's so many, and this is a factor that over the years that some providers that we've had previously haven't been what I'd say the best provider type situation. So these are the fundamental questions that I'm asked.
John, could you clarify this expenditure thing for me? I'm not understanding the 302.
Where am I? You mean the financial and risk implications?
Yes, please.
That's just the budget. Yeah, so you've got the budget codes, and so for the the youth clubs we put on.
Yeah.
So there's a budget. The budget's 22,500 for the year.
Yeah.
And the youth session. So that's the 5 on it MK Play Association, which we do in the holidays.
Yeah.
The budget is £11,000.
Okay. What's that about?
I mean,
The one that says 302.
That's community events. I don't know why that's in there. To be honest with you, I didn't change it, so I have to check.
Oh, okay, so that was.
Yeah, ignore that.
Yeah,
Just
it's
about-
the other two.
Okay,
Yeah, that's community events. Ignore the community events.
so again, I'll go back to the fact, how do we measure the amount of money that we're spending versus we need to like a detailed report about the youth services, because we're all blind sitting here. So I'm saying £22,000, is that enough? Is it too much? What are we getting for that? Is it being delivered? What's the outcomes of the youth services in our area? I don't know anything, if you know what I mean. All I see is £22,000 going out to youth services, and but I want to see and measure the impact of that money.
We haven't really got a strategy, have we, really?
Pardon?
We haven't really got a plan or a strategy, have we? We've sort of given this money, but I think whoever's decided to raise this has been a really good agenda item.
Yeah, but I mean, this is something for us councillors that we've got to ask these bigger questions.
Yeah.
On are we reaching the people that we want to reach? Are they getting?
Yeah.
So it says that this committee should establish a short-term working group to understand and explore the wishes of young people in Bletchley, or delegates this work to officers in part or whole. And I think that we've maybe said for quite a few meetings, our town council is, I would say, we're all over a certain age. And
Speak for yourself.
I didn't say what the edge was, Marie. I think that is this an opportunity to actually work with some young people, and and so the working group could have young people on it, to help them. Sorry.
I said I do. Thank
Marie's
you.
our young one.
I do work with the youth. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think you were the young one.
No, I'm talking about at the council. I don't think that we do, and I know that I have a 12-year-old rolling on 13, and all of his things do not take place in Bletchley or Fenny, Stratford, and I don't know what it's been like for other areas, but I do think that I've heard more antisocial behaviour issues in Newton Lees involving children this year than has been. So my kind of thing is should there be? Is our approach wrong? Have we just funded what we've always funded?
Yes, sir.
Are we actually looking and going, well, what is the strategy that we want? Is it actually, if we have youth that are engaged in things that they enjoy, actually they're not going to be kind of involved in antisocial things. So therefore, we should only fund things that kind of are likely to do that. I don't know, but I think that's the kind of thing that needs out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say that second point about the formal assessment and the analysis of the current providers, I mean, that's definitely the starting point. You know, see, we had, like Richard was saying, in terms of, you know, what we're getting for the money.
Yeah.
Is it working? And yeah, I mean, a working group, you know, so that it can be a deep focus on, you know, how we can sort of actually target young people to actually, you know, give them services that they need. You know, is, yeah, there is a focus that we do need on that in that sense.
Yeah.
Why don't we rewire all of this and think about how large this parish is? Are we hitting everyone around the parish as a council? And maybe think about, why don't we have a youth council for Bletchley? Why don't we start a youth? We've got one for Central Milton Keynes. They've got the infrastructure up there. They will come and help us set something up down here. Our parish is quite big, and with all the stuff that's going on in our parish, maybe, just maybe, we should think about having a youth council down here in Bletchley for the future. That's going to tap into our council, and we can get the information we need. That's something, we've just got to rewrite the script a little bit and think about our objectives as a council and what it is that we're going to. It's all good talking about it, but we're not that age. We need to tap in. Well, I'm a young 60. I'm a young 60. Trust me. But what I'm saying, why don't we as a council think about that strategy to set up a youth council down here in Bletchley, get the infrastructure from Central Milton Keynes and bring it down here to Bletchley and get some real oomph beyond what we're talking about. It's okay just giving out 22,000, but how do we measure that? Is that hitting the people that we want it to hit? Is that fit for purpose nowadays? This is the year 2025. So we need to think radically about what it is that we're doing.
Do you think they're lowering the voting age to 16 as well?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
What's our engagement like with schools and colleges as well? Because that's going to be a key part of essentially attracting youth to council services.
Zero.
Zero.
Do you know what? I think it's got better in the last year or so. We've had, you know, before, yeah, it was zero, but we've got a lot more contacts now within the school, and I certainly see, you know, communication between, and we have got a little bit better at it. But there's more.
But I think this way we're actually putting some infrastructure behind a youth council, and really getting them to tell us, getting them to engage with the youth, getting them to engage with the 11, 12 and 13-year-olds. Very hard for me to go up to a 12, 13-year-old and go, excuse me, what's your mind? If you know what I mean. It'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it? So I'm just saying, you know.
What do other councils do as well? Is it worth that we look at what other councils do?
Well, a lot of councils aren't doing anything. I think what we did with the big street is leading the way in Milton Keynes.
No, I'm not, just general. I think it's always good to see what
But we could
youth work.
Can we not get like a youth feedback form? Can we not do one?
I don't know, it's difficult to figure out.
I mean, I can get people from what I do.
Well, that
get
falls under
families and
regulation
youth to fill it
one.
out, but it depends on.
But I feel that, Marie, you've been in the community such a long time, people know you, respect you. Do you know what I mean? And you possibly may get just off your demographics in your area.
Yeah,
we're talking about the wider parish and having something that's.
I'm sure we all know that someone where we can go up to and get them to.
Yeah, it's not going to be enough. I think we need a bigger thinking.
Okay, well, if we just base what we've got here at the minute, what do we want to do with what's here?
I think all of the recommendations are sound.
Definitely.
But I think there are things that we should consider, but I think one of the key things is to find some way of involving the youth actually in the decision making.
100%.
And this really.
I think since I've started, that's.
I think we're going one step further.
Yeah,
allow the working group to resolve it themselves.
Yeah.
So I think we need to set up this working group.
Do we get do we get feedback on attendance from each?
Youth clubs.
Yeah, because I've been meaning to come and I've gone on the wrong day.
Yeah, I can get reports on. I can get, like, as number 2, I can get, you know, part of the assessment. I can get data on, you know, the MK play station.
I mean, I know if I want to
That's why we need
get
5 on it, didn't
attendance.
we?
So if
I've got reports.
I want to get attendance, so they're not my query. It's more.
Bletchley Youth Centre.
and the
Yeah,
youth
I,
centre.
we've got, we get quarterly reports from Bletchley Youth Centre, MK Play Association will give us reports after this summer.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously it's hit, Lakes have not had the MK Play Association for the last year, so
Yeah, it's been a new lease and deal.
they've not benefited at all, really.
Yeah, I can get that
I
all.
think with some of those youth clubs, we kind of fund them, they do what they want. And I know that some of the budget is used to feed children, and don't take this the wrong way, because I'm not saying that I'm against that, but actually I would rather that the funding was spent on things that are going to really excite children and kind of inspire them. And let's say if a third of the money is taken away for food, actually, does it mean that the activities that are left are really basic? And actually kids aren't interested in them? I don't know. But I think we almost need to flip it. Instead of kind of saying, here's the money, you deliver what you want, I think that we should be understanding what we feel the community wants us to deliver, and then commissioning what we want from the youth services, rather than just saying, here's the money, do what you want. I think we need to do more with the data.
Yeah.
For example, can I just clarify, for example, say we want them to deliver so many sports sessions in their period, etc. For that, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
So we need, it says scope, but we need a strategy of what we're going to do going forward. We need a working group. We need to involve more young people, whether it's a couple of youngsters to support us. But I think standing up the working group would be the first thing.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
We can look at things like availability of Sycamore Hall. Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be a place we can use. I think the timetable will come out of the back of the working group and recommendations as well. So I don't think we can do all 5 of these. I think we just probably just do the first 2. Assess that, and then everyone comes. I'll personally look at other youth services and other councils, because there must be some out there which we think, okay, that's something we can put into the pot. But so the committee, is that something we can offer up wider than this group to the whole council? Because there might be some people who are actually interested in that, might not be interested in this committee, but actually when it comes to youth, I'm certainly interested in the youth, get them more involved. But
I certainly want to be on it.
yeah,
I think just a point of order around that, and I'm not trying to be difficult. I don't think that we have any safeguarding policy at the moment, and I think that's something that we'd need to look at if we're going to involve that.
I think that's what's always been the barrier with pension.
And I know that, so I am DBS checked because of the school governor, but actually we don't currently DBS any councillors, and I'm all for youth involvement, but I think that we actually need to tighten up on safeguarding, and that is that's something that we should add to this recommendation if we want to do that.
Yeah. Okay, that's a really good point.
Obviously.
Yeah.
What I do, you have to be.
Okay. Any more comments on that one? So we need to offer this out wider. Council. That's all, I think. So thank you very much.
That didn't end up being quick.
We are now closing at 9 o'clock on the dot.